Hi guys, welcome to the channel. Today on the MX5 we're going to be completely upgrading the steering system. So we've got new track rod end, new track rod with pin and split pin for the track rod end here. And the most important upgrade of today is new polybush mounts for the steering rack. Now this shouldn't really affect turning too much in terms of your car actually turning in better, but what it will do is make it feel like it is actually doing something. So we can't see anything under there, so in a minute we'll get the under tray off, have a look at the old steering rack and explain more about what these will actually do to the car. Welcome back guys. So we've got the under tray off. That's literally a 2-minute job. So what we're replacing today is this bush here and another one on the back side, if I can get the camera in there. That's it, just there, just this nut here and that nut at the back there. You pop those off and there's two bushings that look like that, but obviously are in one piece. I'm replacing them with a much stiffer poly bush. And then the other bush is right here, which is in a C clamp, which on an MB looks like that. The Mark 1 rack is different, so if you've got a Mark 1 and you want to do this upgrade, you will need a different bush set. So what we're going to do is obviously we need to get the wheels off so we can access the track rod end just there. We're going to take this whole thing off because it's been on here for the life of the car. It's just going to be a pain. I thought as I'm doing everything I might as well renew that. Now hopefully my rack isn't gone, because if your rack is fine you pop these boots off and it shouldn't be filled with fluid. I'll give it a little squeeze. I don't see any fluid, feel any fluid. It's just a bit of age-related leaks on there. Obviously, nice bit of corrosion on here. So what this will do is when you're turning in, it should make you feel more through the road, more through the corner, because you haven't got, I mean I can't wiggle it now with my hands, but you haven't got as much play going through this rack as you normally would. So it would give you the feel of it having a better turn in. Now if you actually want a better turn in, this puppy here is what you need to upgrade, your anti-roll bar, because that will give you a much sharper turn in, as well as maybe polybushing the arms as well. That would definitely help with giving the car an actual physically better turn in. But we're just going to focus on feel, because that's what I want with this car, is a fast road car that just feels amazing to drive. And as we all know, the MX-5s are fantastic already to drive, so why not upgrade that a little bit by replacing these probably 24-year-old bushes with some uprated poly bushes. And hopefully once we've done the job she should feel so much better, so much newer to drive. We're back again now. We've got the track rods loosened. We're just going to tap those out with a hammer just on that nut there to loosen them down. If you're lucky, you can pull that down and pop it out, but obviously you'll probably not, because it's an MX-5 and it's going to be corroded as anything, just like mine is under here. So you will need to tap that just on that with a hammer. If you are reusing it, tap this bit on the steering knuckle. Try not to damage that boot there. Welcome back underneath the MX-5 guys. So we've got the bolts out for the rack there. Just see if we get the angle there. They're all 17 mils. As you can see, a nice little patch of rust there. So what we're going to try and do now is this one here, the C clamp one. That should be easy enough to do in situ. The one I'm worried about is these here, because I've got to lift it up and push these out with some kind of bearing puller or a G-clamp. So what I'm going to do is go away from the camera, try and do it in situ, and if I can I'll show you guys how to. If not, then we'll be removing the whole rack. Right, quick update from underneath the Mazda here. As you can see, we've managed to move the steering rack out a little bit. Now what you've got to do is, up there you can see disconnected by the engine mount is that bit there, is your steering shaft. Just disconnect it from here. There's a little 12mm bolt, take that out, get a pry bar through the wheel arch or something to smack it, and just smack it off those splines there, and then it'll give you enough room to get that out and free. You don't have to disconnect any lines. Just be careful, because if you pull this too far out, you'll drop it and then put extra pressure on the steering lines. So now I'm just going to pull these bearings out and come back to you with the differences between the two. So all the old bushings from the rack are out. As you can see, these horrible rubber ones, look how easy that is to flex with my left hand. Notice how there's little pressure in my hand at all to just get that. There's these new polybush ones. A lot more force required. So it should mean your rack moves less as you're driving along, and you're getting more of that feel through the road, through the steering wheel. As the Mazda's already great, but you can always improve. The downside with this floflex kit is it didn't come with any supplied grease, so if you're thinking about buying this, be advised that mine didn't come with any grease, so you will have to go out to Euros, Halfords, something like that, and get some grease for it, and split these apart, grease them up, then pop them in the car. So the new wrap bushes are in, and if I'm honest, I don't think the quality on them is that great. I mean, these pushed in bearings, it was a bit of a struggle to get the metal sleeve in, and then when I did get the metal sleeve, it started pushing the bottom one there out and down, but it's clamped together now. And then this one here has got a couple mil either side of this clamp, just a bit bigger, a bit too much, and when I've squished it together, it's left a gap. But no matter how much I try and hold it to get it done, it still produces the same effect. It still squishes it out. I don't think they're the nicest quality bearings, but they're the only ones for the car. So the new steering wrap bushes are in. We're just about to go on a little drive just to see how they are, and then I'll report back with the differences I feel in the car. Might be the placebo, might take a few drives to come up with a verdict, but we'll see from there. Just been out for a quick drive in the car. Definitely feels a lot more solid when you're turning in and when your inputs are, especially over bumps. I mean, it's not going to make the car really any faster, it's just going to the way it feels for you driving it, and there is an improvement with it. It definitely feels better. Turning in, when you got mid-corner, you can sort of feel what the car's doing, what the road surface is doing a little bit more. It definitely feels like the car is more solid when going around the corner. So yeah, worthwhile upgrade. I mean, the quality of the bushings I don't think is as good as it could be if someone like Super Pro or Powerflex did it, but as it's probably the only one you can get, or the only one I've seen in at least England, I think it's for £32–33. It's definitely a worthwhile upgrade. It takes about an hour or so to do, but yeah, I'm happy with the results.